So I
This
think
meeting
we
is
are
being
on
live
YouTube.
streamed. Awesome.
Are we gallery? I think so. Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm gonna check.
Okay, cool.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome
So I think
to.
we are
Oh,
on live stream.
yes. Okay, turn
Awesome.
that off.
Are we?
Right. I'm out of practice. It's been 2 weeks. So, welcome everyone who's watching today. This is Ashley and Monica, our Wednesday wellness chat. So we've had 2 weeks off because I selfishly went on holiday and I had all good intentions to try and do this, but I was having too much fun in France and the signal was a bit dodgy and we just went, "Do you know what? You're on holiday. Should we just come back when we come back?" So here we are, back to kind of the routine, I suppose, the fun routine. Kids are in school and we can get on with just making a little bit of magic. So, a little introduction for those who are catching us live for the first time. I'm Ashley. I am a yoga therapist, sound healer. I love all things energy, frequency, vibration. I used to work for Big Pharma, so I have a science background, but my soul was calling me in the opposite direction. I wanted to get some kind of explanation for all the energetic, spiritual stuff that I was feeling from age dot. And I thought science was the route, and I absolutely loved it. And I learned lots and lots and lots, but I learned enough to know that that isn't the answer. And maybe my intuition was right all along. And I am being led down this more energetic, spiritual path and absolutely love all the things that I do. So, Monica and I wanted to chat to you about all the opportunities that are out there for all of us. So I'll pass you over to Monica so she can do a little bit of an intro as well. So this is Monica. I don't know which way you are on the screen. I'll just
Yep. Over there somewhere. Oh, thank you so much. So I'm Monica, and I am bedside nurse turned holistic nurse. So I went from bedside nursing. I left bedside nursing when all of the stuff was happening in 2020. I stayed for the craziness. As it calmed down, I was like, okay, I need to go. And then it started amping up the wildness again. So I was like, okay, like this is my signal to get the F out. And so I did. I'm a mom. I've got 3 kids as well. And now I am creating income online in the most magical ways that I never thought. If you told me 20 years ago, I'd be sitting here before you creating magic on YouTube and all of these other social media platforms, supporting my family and living my best life, I'd be like, huh? Really? Yeah,
That's
what?
not real,
So
Ollie.
yeah, and so here we are, and creating connections across the world. Ashley and I met online and connected several years ago, stayed connected. We're now building business together, and we've done a retreat together, and we plan on doing more retreats together, and we're just kind of playing and having fun. So kind of a segue into what we want to share with you today really has everything to do with abundance and really remembering the truth that is abundance comes in all different shapes and forms and packages and people and experiences, and we get to open up to the possibility of receiving those in many different ways, infinite ways. Really, it can come to us in infinite ways. And so that's kind of the code that we want to share with you today, just in relaxed conversation of what's present for Ashley and I and what we're doing and what we're seeing other people do, and really allowing us to open up, expand our aperture to receive and understand that money can really come to us in many ways, and not just money, right, but all of the abundant experiences. So I'm going to leave it at that and see what's present for Ashley in the realm of abundance as she sits in her French frequency, having come off holiday after 2 weeks. Like, what a gift.
It was pretty awesome. Amazing. So, yeah, 16 days in France with the family. It was amazing. Just bike riding everywhere in the sea. Not bike riding in the sea, but you know what I mean.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, too many croissants, too many ice creams, but we had an awesome time in the sun. So that was great. And it made me think when you switch off, not that like I love my job. I'm so blessed to be able to love my job now, but it took a big decision for me to leave the corporate lifestyle to go it alone. I'm also got three kids, so it was during after I went back to work after having my second baby, and I think I did it for about a year, and I my priorities had completely shifted, and it helped me to open my mind to what else was out there because I started exploring. Okay, if I can't or if I don't want to sit and do this 9 to 5 corporate being told what to do. And the company that I was working for was restructuring, and I knew that I was just a little ant. I was just a little number, and I was just going to be put wherever they wanted me to put. They could just tell me no. So I needed to take control because I didn't know where I was going to be put next. And at that time, I was put quite far away from home. So, being that far away from kids and just being traveling all day, I was so tired that I was lucky enough. Why wasn't it? It's not luck, is it? I made a decision to change it and actually do something different. So I was teaching yoga at the time as well, and I knew that that was what I wanted to really do. I want to share my gifts in person with people. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be told what to say. I don't want to feel like someone's watching me all the time. And it was liberating to go, oh, and it is possible. And I think we're all so programmed to think that you have to work for someone, you have to work 9 to 5. Things are shifting a lot. If you speak to 18 to 24-year olds, they do not believe this. Okay,
Mm.
it's our generation. If you're in your 40s, our generation was brought up that, you're lucky to stay with a company. And if you are there, you could be there for life, and you will be lucky because then you'll get a pension, and then you'll be allowed to spend your money on whatever you want when you're too old to actually enjoy it. It just doesn't make any sense. And I used to just sit there thinking, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. And to have that change in mindset was quite a big shift for me to go, do you know what? There is another option. You start opening your mind, you start seeing things. The universe will show you all sorts of different people who are making money in all sorts of different ways. And it rather than going, oh yeah, but that's them, that's not me, just think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. That's it. Just that simple shift, isn't it? If they can do it, I can do it. Because why? I'm not any different. I can do this. And I think it was that shift that then I started to explore things online more and more. And I came across the lovely Monica, and I was like, she's like me. She can do it. I can do this. So Monica is still inspiring me to do all sorts of different things online. And it is just it feels so expansive and so exciting that it, yeah, I can still remember the feeling of feeling sort of restricted about what I could do and where I could go. I was never going to earn as much money as my boss, for instance, unless I became a boss, but then there would be another boss. And I had to wait for that annual review in order to get a percentage rise. And I had to tick all these boxes, and we had to make up um, all these KPIs and all the other acronyms that you speak about in corporate world that are just made up rubbish to make you sound impressive. And then and I just go home going, oh, all of that work for a year and I've got a 1% rise. Like, how long is this going to take for me to actually be able to feel like I can in control? Because everything else is going up in price, isn't it? And it's not relative. Your salary does
Right.
not work with how things are going. Um, I'll pass it over to you, Monica. Does that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. So as you share this, what comes up for me is, um, well, first of all, the reality is most people will just stay.
hmm
You know, Probably if you're watching this, you're not in the majority. There's a reason that you were led to this video. It's a frequency match. Most people will stay and do that for the rest of their life and do the retirement thing and have a good few years and then die. I mean, let's just be blunt and honest. It's the truth. What I want to talk about, I'm going to share my perspective, and then
God.
I want you to share yours, Ashley, is there are so many opportunities out here. And so I remember when I knew as a nurse, like I had to change something. I became a single parent. I was doing the math, all the math that you were doing. Like I knew that there was no way that I could work enough hours as a bedside nurse to make up the gap that I needed to be a single parent and actually enjoy my life.
Yeah.
I knew that I was already compromising my values. If I was going to go into management, I would compromise them further. That was the only way I was going to make anything substantially more. And still, there was still a massive gap. And so this is when I started looking online, you know, what are the opportunities? And then I became disillusioned, overwhelmed because there are so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And so then what is the next step, right? So like if you're someone watching this and you're like, I've got to get out of what I'm doing, but there's so many things out there. There's a lot of scams and blah, blah, blah. How do I actually figure out what is for me? And I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you that the transition from being a nurse to being in high ticket affiliate marketing with eNagic, and then doing these other magical gigs that I have, it didn't come from my human. It didn't come from my mind. That the way that I was actually able to access the guidance and the bravery to make the shift was as I honestly kind of tapped out of, not I didn't tap out of anything. I tapped into the bigger part of me. And so how do we do that? So for me, as I was exploring, I couldn't just explore with my mind. I had to do the deeper work that would allow me to access the bigger part of Monica, which is whatever you want to call it, super conscious self, higher self, soul. To me, those three terms are the same. And so what did I do? I got outside a lot in the sun. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are light beings. I got in the sun a lot and I just asked for the guidance. Like I have chills saying this right now. And I just got as quiet as I could. And I would like to say that I'm a pretty seasoned like meditator now, but I wasn't then. And so it was a real stretch for me to actually sit in the silence and allow myself to just be just as quiet as I could. My mind would still scramble, but I would just kind of come back to my heartbeat, come back to my heartbeat, come back to my heartbeat. And it didn't really feel like anything was happening. And this is why, too, we struggle with it because we feel like we should feel some big shift.
Yeah.
I didn't feel necessarily what was happening, but something big was happening. And what I recognize now is that I was actually in that stillness, because I wouldn't call it silence. I just was being still. My mind was still chattering, that I was actually allowing myself to connect with the like energetic grid of all the other people who were desiring to access something similar or who had already found the thing that I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so then this is when the magic happens. Again, I have chills all over my body. And then my interaction with social media turned into really like a golden thread of guidance. And I don't even know how I found the woman that I came into this business with. I just found her. I found her because I was being led, and it was all very like quiet and soft and magical, but it was all happening. And it all goes back to me being willing to be still and just to open up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so be still and just be as quiet as you can, even if it's just for 2 to 5 minutes, because that your ability to do that will expand, and see where it takes you. And then this is where the abundance opens up too. All these different opportunities come in.
It's
So
so true. That has reminded me as well, of I think I underestimated the power of that stillness and that I was practicing that teaching yoga because I was still corporate by day, a bit of yoga at night, around the kids. Like I didn't go back to loads of classes after having the children. I was doing it beforehand, but there was always that niggle. I knew that I wasn't on the right path, but I felt like I was learning something in order to take the next step. I didn't have that shove, and I needed the shove, and I got a shove. But I just remember going and teaching yoga, even if I think it's just one evening a week after I went back to work. And that was like my sanctuary. Even though I'm teaching 30 odd people yoga, it was my sanctuary as well. And the Shavasana at the end was my silence as well. And it just got louder and louder and louder for me. And then when I found your video, it wasn't anything to do with the business. Initially, it was just educational videos about frequency and energy, and I was like, oh, this is it's all about this. It's all about this. And you did a TikTok training, and I paid you $7, and I did your TikTok training, and you were just like, I've never done this before. I'm just doing this training. So, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's brilliant. And it was just a Zoom link. And I remember the training. It was really short, but perfect. And you just taught me how to like get onto TikTok, do a couple of videos, what buttons meant what. And I never forget when you said, right, before you post, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and imagine that this post is going out like a golden thread to the whole world. And I had this image of all these lights around the globe being lit up because they saw my video, and that video went viral. And I
Oh
just,
my gosh. I didn't know that story. Oh my, I have chills again. That feels so like full circle in many ways right now.
I've got goosebumps. So, and I have neglected TikTok completely. I don't know why, just because of life, we go up and down, don't we? And there's so many shiny objects and distractions, like you said, and what to actually focus on. And it has come full circle that I was right, what, 5 years ago, to find that, do that on TikTok. And I did, I was quite consistent on it for a little bit. And then I saw another shiny object and I went over there and I invested, and I just felt like I was learning. But all of the shiny objects that I have done in the last couple of years have taught me so much, and have I trust that it was the right journey. But that is a full circle moment, actually. That's really interesting.
It
Um,
is really
because
interesting.
I've got another nudge to get back on TikTok, and I haven't been on there for about 2 years, and I've still got quite a few followers because of that one video that went viral. And it was so exciting. And so you've reminded me that that is so important. Even when you're doing things like social media that don't feel sort of meditative, you can tap into this energy with whatever you're doing, as long as it's soul aligned and you feel like it feeds your soul. Then talk to your soul, even if it's just a video that you're posting. It's going to take you somewhere, isn't it? And life should be fun. It shouldn't be all about grabbing and taking. And people still feel guilty, don't they, about earning money, because money doesn't grow on trees and it's the root of all evil and all the other things that we were told, especially our generation. But that's not true. It's just energy. It's just
Yeah.
energy. You're just playing with energy and currency. It's just another form of frequency. And once you change that, you're like, I totally deserve all of that. I'm not taking it from anyone just because I'm going to get some more.
Yeah.
People have that guilt that they don't deserve it, or they shouldn't have that because they've got enough. You're like, well, if enough
Yeah.
is enough, then great. But if you want to live in more abundance, you can. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's very interesting too that how our physical body, how it's in our physical body, those program like physically
Yeah.
in there. And what comes through intuitively now is I just want to remind you that like to be gentle on yourself and to feel the feelings that keep you trapped from not being able to be in the stillness and the silence. This one of the greatest things we can do is actually allow ourselves to feel the feelings, because there are a lot of incomplete teachings, I feel, that kind of teach us to ignore or bypass those feelings, and you're just keeping yourself stuck when you ignore those feelings. I'll tell you a specific story quickly that I told Ashley before we got on. Every expansion for me is another level of unraveling, another level of letting go of another layer of the old version of me that it has felt stuck by the old programming that's not even mine. That my great grandma, who was German, who was like lived through the depression and crazy things around World War II, like she was hiding money. We found so much money hidden when she died. Like she was just hiding money around places because she was so afraid of being without. Like we carry those things forward, like literally in our DNA.
Yeah.
And a couple of days ago, I guess it was last week or so, I just had the greatest nervous breakdown. I fully embraced it. I experienced it very different and than I would have in the past. It was a nervous breakdown. Like I was crying, I was afraid, big things came up in my life. I felt like everything had fallen apart. And instead of resisting it or judging myself for it, I just cried. And I really, like, I was in the fetal position on the ground. Like I was like, all right, girl, we're going there. Like, go into that. And it almost, after the 10 or 15 minutes of wailing and crying, and you know, it's like something massive shifted. And the next day I made so much money in like 2 hours. I think it's probably the most money I've ever made in 2 hours in my entire life. And I'm not capping that. Like, we're gonna triple that, quadruple it.
You
So
need to stop
just,
crying.
yeah, right. So
I'm
yeah,
open.
like, cried, feel the feelings, allow yourself, like, even in the middle of the day, like, just go to the bathroom and just let yourself, I mean, obviously you can't be in the fetal position on the bathroom floor, but like, let yourself feel it, let yourself, like, let it be heavy on you for a moment, and so that it can pass, because the feeling, it wants to shift if you witness it. Otherwise it just stays in that loop.
Yeah, and I
So
think
feel the feeling.
yeah, we kind of have, or at least I have the belief, many people would, that if you feel it, that means you have to accept it, and then you're like
Succumb to it.
yeah, but actually the opposite is true. Feel it, let it move, run, like scream. You need to let it out because there's something that needs to shift. It doesn't mean that you're going mad, or it doesn't mean that things are getting worse. It just means that you're feeling it and you're expressing it. And however you do that, and shifts can happen. And that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I love it.
Freaking
Oh,
magical.
it is magical. It is
Mm.
magical. So, breathe. We've opened your mind, hopefully, a little bit. This is just step by step. Just know that anything is possible. It all depends on what you believe. And understand that most of us are programmed to believe something that isn't helpful. It's not expanding you, it's keeping you stuck in the same patterns that your ancestors have had. And that might not be what you want anymore. So just know that other stuff is possible. Other stuff. More
Other
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yes. I
without
love
being
it.
too specific, but there's so much. But if you want to know more, if you want to hear more kind of expansive conversations, come back every week and join us. um, we're both on social media, so come and find us on social media. Monica's blown it up on TikTok. And I'm lighting up with Ashley on Instagram and on TikTok as well, so I will be going back over there soon. Do you want to share your handle, Monica?
Oh, it's just funny. So if you search me, I am perimenopause hacks on TikTok. I've really niched down. How funny is that?
Well, it's working. It's working. Like,
It's working.
do what you need to do to become more abundant.
Yeah,
It's all aligned.
that's right.
I love that.
Oh, this
Lush.
is fun.
This is fun. Okay, we'll be back again next week for another lovely chat. Feel free to comment. I will reply to any comments that come in, and it would be lovely if you could subscribe and follow us. All right. See you all
Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Bye.